Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, where topics of our interest we discuss by us for your entertainment. Some topics may be controversial, others will be unique. We will take a deep dive into topics might just blow your mind. Now that that's out of the way, I'm Matt,
I'm Kyle.
and this is the Reigns. All right,
Boom.
let's get into this, Kyle.
Let's go.
All right. So the topic of today is we are not from this planet. And
Ooh,
why I say that is because I was watching a video, and I was person, of course, was explaining stuff about how, pretty much to talk about the whole point of humans. Like, humans cannot live like animals, like any other creature on like this planet. We cannot do it. Meaning that us humans cannot live out into the wilderness because we will die. We cannot be exposed to the sun for long durations because we will get sunburned and damaged because our skin is not protected.
And what else?
And then we pretty much have to build a society to live in. We are not hunter gatherers in the way of how all other animals are. Animals work off of instincts. We have a conscious and everything else going on here.
All good points.
So, mainly enough for me, how I see it as is we are a species where it's almost like as if something mutated with us to try to see if either they could further their existence into this world, or this was some bad science experiment that they're just like, you know what, let's just let this ride.
So you're saying that alien DNA, so to speak, was spliced with, say, an animal on the earth and created a human?
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm wondering if they went through the process of trying different ones, and when they didn't work, then they finally were like, hey, look, this one's working.
And do you think evolution took over from that point on? Or we were just all just naturally how we're set up now in
Well,
history?
I think that evolution played a huge part in all this, because I think that it was just the sheer part of that they created something and they just wanted to see what would happen with it.
I see. That's what it would explain, like why some humans could work harder than other humans.
Oh yeah, because I mean, if you look at us, when us from way back when to now, we've never actually been the society where we ever actually lived in the forest. We either lived in caves all our lives, and then when we were in caves, we found ways to entertain ourselves and all this other stuff. And then you look at all the other animals. Most of the animals, they may have evolved, but they really didn't evolve much.
Oh, I see. Some animals do live in like den.
Well, yeah, like you have bears and stuff, but I mean, bears will go out and go just catch fish in like in like the river, just live their cozy life, not try to find problems or conflicts. The only real time when they're actually, doing stuff like that is to protect their young or to find a mate. Where us humans, we are like, we're like that, but then we also have that curveball to us where it's like we fight over resources. Where animals, like if like a bear sees like another
I think I
bear.
lost you. Do you
What's
need me
that?
to sign that?
I'm
Oh, there
here.
you are.
Yep,
I
yep.
lost you there. I didn't
Oh,
hear you for the last like minute.
oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, no. So what I was saying was, so you know, when we look at like bears, deer, and all other types of creatures, they like they may have like a instinct to try to battle for territory, and they might and they might battle for a mate. But in the grand scheme of it, whenever it's not the seasons for stuff like that, they generally will just habitat somewhere else than try to find conflict.
I see. I see.
And then it's not only
Yes.
that, but you look at animals of all types, all of everywhere, monkeys, uh, deer, tigers, lions, all those creatures. Whenever they have like a conflict, it's generally enough just it's like one or two fighting and that's it. And
And it's
then
over.
and then you see us where if the conflict isn't, it's not like the conflict isn't just two people fight about it. It's generally enough. If it is, it's an entire nation.
Still there.
We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, I see.
Yeah, you're going in and out on me.
Am I?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
So if I'm
So,
not responding, it's probably because you went out.
oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, so like if you look at us humans, if there's a conflict, it's like a global one. We don't make it just, oh, these two people don't like each other, so they could duke it out. No.
Yeah, you don't really see a whole species going at it with another species or anything like that in out in nature. You don't see like 10 bears go call up another 10 bears and fight another 10 bears.
No, you don't. What you normally always see is you normally always see two bears they fight and that's kind of it. It's over. Us, we destroy everything.
I see. I get that point.
And we're the only species that does it. Like if there's like there's like a habitat and like a place to live and stuff like that, we don't leave it alone. No, no. If we're killing up people, the only reason why that we would keep it is simply because we have to conquer it and because it's useful to us.
I get it. Yes. And while I was thinking about this topic, doing my work throughout the day, I was just thinking, where are the ingredients for a human? What can I throw in a bowl and watch a human pop out?
Good question. I mean, I think we could turn a little bit to the recent UFO files that were released and alien files.
Intriguing. Enlighten me.
So, as you know, there's four species of aliens. There's the bugs, there's the reptilian, then there's like
Grays.
this other weird one, and then there's
The
the
grays.
grays.
Yes.
And the one thing
They're
I've
the
all
experimenters.
they're much smarter than us. And the one thing I learned just from just thinking about it, because I always wondered, where did somebody get the portrait of an alien from?
Ooh, I never thought about that.
Yeah, like I mean, like the design of like an alien. What, like s- I can't imagine a person just out of the blue, just like, hey, I'm gonna go draw this alien, and this is what it's gonna look like. Because
Anybody out there knows the origin of this? Comment.
please do, because that'd be interesting to know. But why I say that is because if you think about aliens, so they got gray skin, which how do humans get gray skin and stuff like that? Uh,
Oh, we're peachy and black and brown and
well, we are, but that's from
yeah.
exposure from the sun and evolutionary times and the atmosphere. And
Yeah, but wouldn't there be a sun in all these solar systems?
there would be, but if you are space traveling all the time and in a
Oh,
suit,
good point.
your
Okay.
your skin would become gray and not really much
Yeah, that
use.
don't take long. Okay.
So now then we move on to the eyes, the big black eyes. The question is, well, how would this relate to humans? How would humans get big black eyes? Well, simple. You're space traveling all your life where it's always dark and you're always looking at computer screens and stuff. Well, what do you think is going to happen?
Ooh, interesting. It's trying to let the light in like your pupils when they dilate.
It is, but now your eyes have no need to. Your eyes have no more need to dilate down from the sun or from bright lights or anything because everything is controlled now.
Got it. Makes sense.
Yep. And then our noses, our noses are as much as people want to say, well, our noses, blah, blah, our noses are a survival thing of whatever we were bred with. That's what made our noses because it's a survival instinct. But what if there was no more need for that? Because now we have sensors and everything else. And really the sense of smelling anything is gone because, well, you can't really make food when you're space traveling all day.
Interesting. I never thought about this, Matt. You
I
are
know, I
enlightening.
know. This is why I wanted to pick up like this topic because I'm like, huh. Because when you look at humans and then you look at the grays, it's like, I could really see us in a long term thing of few years, lots of this and that we could become them.
Yeah, it's like when you lock a nerd down in his parents' basement and he comes out all pale skin, eyes like can't look at the sun or anything. Something
Yep.
like that.
Well,
I
yeah.
get
Well,
it.
because I mean, again, what does about 70% of males have? Male pattern baldness.
Yes.
Hair, of course, is a survival thing of us for, you know, it's a thing for beauty styles and for protection against the sun. It's a weird thing that people go bald.
Like an alien.
Yep. And then we look at our ears. I mean, we have ears because, again, survival instinct built them to be able to hear, to be able to listen, to blah, blah, blah. Well, now think about it. You go into outer space, everything now is radio transmitted with earbuds and stuff. Well, your ears are going to no longer be things that are designed to pick up sound. They're just going to be holes in your head that you're supposed to just put stuff in.
Never thought about this. Makes sense.
Yep. And now we move on to our mouths. We have teeth and stuff to use to grind meat and grind vegetation down and stuff
What's
like
the
that.
alien mouth look like? Do they even have one?
But they do. They do. They're actually like beaks.
Must be like what, an inch big?
Yeah. So actually, it's funny enough. I remember there was like this story going on, and it was like about it was about who oh, but it was about like pufferfish. So they found back in like a long time ago, they found that pufferfish actually had teeth,
Hmm.
but through the evolutionary chain of their diets and everything else, they developed beaks.
Interesting. And this does happen quick and not in human terms, but like in the terms of space and time continuancy. We
Well,
weren't here that long.
no, no, and if you think about it, back in the day, we ate meat, ripped it off the flesh and bones, and we ate vegetation and eat vegetables and stuff. But imagine now if everything is like a puree.
I get it.
Yeah. So
So that
now,
means, does the alien have a butthole?
they probably, well, I don't, I, well, no, that's probably gone too because now instead of having bathrooms, you would have something that would essentially enough like make your feces into like energy or something like, or food sources.
Or they just like inject or
Yeah. It's more like a filter.
out and comes out into
Y-
energy?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's just like us now into space, we could convert urine into water again. So we could actually siphon the water out of the urine.
So you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? No buttholes.
Nope.
You
Well,
want to be an
because
astronaut and travel space? No butthole.
Well, yeah, because when you look at like a gray's body or alien as they say his body,
It's all skinny and fragile.
it's all skinny. And now, of course, now we move on to the part of why don't aliens have muscle mass or anything? And the simple answer is they don't need it. They have
They don't
they
move.
have well, no, they move, but you have to remember 90% of us, just like now, you're going to be typing on a keyboard, doing stuff. All the heavy lifting is going to be done with either like a robot or with a exosuit.
I see. I get it.
So muscle mass is no longer going to be needed. Then
Eh,
we move on to the long stringy fingers, and it's then you ask yourself, well, why would they have long stringy fingers and like really long
mhm.
fingers and stuff? And it's simply because, well, we're still probably going to need levers to control. So of course, a nice firm grip around like a lever will does a
Yep.
good job. And then secondly, we type a lot. So of course, nice
And,
long stringy fingers could really be working those keys real fast.
and we know one thing they're not going to use that for buttholes.
Nope.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
And then, well, let's just move back up to like the head first, because of course the other thing is they have enormous skulls, and of
Yes.
course
Why?
that's pretty obvious because they're going to be using way more brain power than they are of anything else.
So they are smart.
Oh, they're super intelligent. You have to remember, we are probably only tapping in. We're not probably not even tapping into the type of crap that they probably already do. Like the AI that we have now and that we're starting to tap into, they probably look at it and they probably think, oh wow, look, after millions of years of this, they finally they finally scratched the surface of us.
I don't know what to think about this one because I don't think, well, that's a future episode. I don't think aliens exist.
Well,
I
that's
think
yeah, that's
aliens
just
are
a
AI.
or yeah,
That's going to be a good one.
well, yeah, well, because see now then why I also so then of course now we look at so now I mean so let's say that that is the future of us, that if we start doing space mining and we start doing everything where it's based around VR headsets on, where your job is to control a robot to do manual labor and stuff. We're now leaving your house, doing stuff outside, like all this other stuff is just no longer a thing anymore because hey, we found out now that oh, well, long exposure to this or that will kill you. So the better life here, we got machines to do all this now. Wars, we don't need to fight them now with people anymore. We wiped out our enemies a long time ago who never evolved up to us,
Get it?
you know, because either we're going to go, because then we have to also look at, the invention of the Terminator series. We think about that.
And that would be something that would a little gray alien would be controlling as a Terminator.
Well, so if you think about it, that's more of like downline to closer to what we would be doing. So we would be having essentially enough humanoid type robots then to be fighting wars for us, pretty much
Oh, I
being,
get it. I get
yeah,
it.
pretty much being the entire thing. But instead of it, because again, thanks to our ability to think and solve problems, we would be able to curve Skynet's ability to outsmart us and create its own conscious to be able to solve its problem of not being controlled and seeing the problem is humans, where now it sees that its purpose is to make humans evolve better than what they are.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think we even have war because
There
it'd be
wouldn't be like a
pointless at
reason.
that point.
There wouldn't be a
Yeah,
reason because if you have space mining, what'd be the
yeah,
point?
we have unlimited resources, and yeah, why would there be?
Well,
Just to fight, I guess.
because then too, we would be getting rid of gas powered rockets. It would be nuclear uh, propulsions.
So
So you never
wars
run out
would
of
probably just
energy.
be like a football game on TV or a WWE match or something for entertainment purposes only.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's like you wanted to go see. Oh, what's the exploration up to? Oh, oh, cool. They're almost up to Mars. Oh, yeah. This is like our million trip to Mars.
Yeah.
where then we look back into the archives and we see the ancient times, and we look back at days like 2026 and we're like, man, that was a hell of a time to be alive. They had nothing.
Yeah. Worthless.
Yeah, because the Earth would be more or less just a place of training to get ready to go out onto the exploration for the entire life of yourself. Because now your time now is to do exactly what the Greys probably did, which was go to another planet, find life, make it into a new species to see if maybe we could further evolve ourselves or find out if we could find a way to make ourselves better. Because if you think about it, possibly enough, maybe the Greys didn't actually have a full consciousness. And the whole point of breeding with a species like monkeys or something to have it evolve into creating a conscious was to then invent new ideas for them.
Deep.
Really deep. Really, really deep.
Okay.
So
Okay. Now back. Let's bring this back a little bit here.
so now
Where do
so
you, why? What's this relate to why humans aren't from Earth?
well, so I mean if you think about it, humans ourselves, we cannot we cannot actually, like, especially now, like, we are pretty much ruined. We have evolved to the point that our attention spans are so short that if we actually got rid of everything that we do, we would probably, a lot of people would go nuts
Hmm. Why?
because our attention spans are now 60 seconds. That's why short clips and TikTok does so well.
Oh, got you.
And
Yeah, I do stray a lot more often now than I did back when I was a kid. Think I
yeah,
was just getting old.
no, that's by design. That's to make your brain be able to kind of multitask and work faster.
I got you.
All by
Thank God, I'm
design.
not getting old. Hear that? I don't age.
No, no,
I
no, no, no.
I don't look like a gray.
Well, yeah. So essentially, now, if you think about it, with us humans onto this planet, if we look at all that stuff, where we look at how the Greys mold into us as a human, how do humans like look? How could they imagine to be like a Grey? And you could really see how it's real simple almost when you think about it, how we could mold right into that easily. So this is why I say we are not from this planet, because we do not live like every other creature on this planet. Name one creature that builds structures for itself like how we do.
Bird.
What's that?
Birds build structures.
They do, but birds build structures into finding scraps around and you using them.
Matt, didn't you ever hear of a birdhouse?
They didn't build that.
I know. I'm messing with you.
Yeah, yeah. So birds, of course, find scraps to build their nest. They build them in trees. They do not excavate an entire land to go make property on.
Yeah, no boundaries.
Not only that, but us humans, if somebody dies within our families or like anybody, we mourn, we have ceremonies, we have all this other stuff. Name another animal that goes out of their way to be burying their dead.
Let me think about this. They do mourn, but it's not long.
No, no, especially if you look at like birds or smaller mammals. Yeah,
Yeah, they don't.
they really just kind of like it's kind of just a survival thing.
There are some birds that'll be like, if they lose their mate, they won't go with another one, stuff like that.
Well, yeah, yeah, but that's like an evolutionary thing. That's something that we're stuck on a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, humans by themselves, if we lost somebody and we didn't have to sit there and have morals and everything else underneath ourselves, think about it. Women were designed to populate, men were designed to procreate. If you think about it, men, like women, they can go, some women, they can go a few rounds. Men, You give them a couple hours, they always go more rounds. And that's probably like an evolutionary thing
Keep this
because
PG, Matt.
it is. I'm just saying that I'm just saying that species that mate, generally enough, they're not like us. Like they stay with their one mate, but then if they die, they move right on to us. We gotta have this whole entire monologue for ourselves.
Because we got feelings. We want to feel special.
Yes,
I got you.
as what
The
you
only thing
told.
that separates us.
Yep, as what you
Yeah,
told me. The only thing that separates us from the animals is we like to feel important.
that's it.
That's the biggest thing ever. Is no animal on like the planet goes out of their way to try to shine above the other one.
There's a thing called peacocking, but that's just to procreate. They
But
want to make
again,
themselves look bigger and prettier, but that's not a stature thing. It's not feeling special. It's just to get a mate.
you have to think though too. Is I mean, if you look at like a peacock is going to go throw its. Only the males have this type of ability to throw up their tail, and it's this gigantic like thing going on, and that's to attract the mate. And
That's it.
then you look at like taggers, and they're rub dirt on their face and make it look nice, and like all types of creatures have a little niche that they do to try to attract a mate. Where us humans, one, we interpret most of these things as you know a spectacle to see. And then also us humans, we put makeup on for women. Men dress up. We like to be in shape. We like to look attractive. There's a certain attractiveness that we need. We have
Yes,
to smell
and
nice.
yeah, all these TikTokers and stuff have to do all this, and they're not trying to get a mate. They just want to feel special.
Well, see, and that's like the other part. To finish up with just like the mate thing. So us humans, of course, we probably adopted a lot of the parts with that part of looking attractive and stuff like that. We go a little bit overboard compared to what animals do, but that's because all animals look alike. We're like the only species on the planet that looks really different from everything else.
Yeah, I could agree with that one.
And then if we move on to the influencers and stuff, essentially enough, they destroyed the entire identity of what a normal person is supposed to look like. Nobody actually knows anymore what a normal person is supposed to be.
Nah,
No, because if you think about it, when you look at a peak specimen of men, who do you think about?
that's me. Me.
Well, for
Just me.
you, but for most people, they would look at Brock Lesnar.
I was gonna say Brock
They
Lesnar.
would look
He's the
at
alpha male of our
Arnold.
species.
They look at Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day.
Yeah, it's prime. Hulk
Yep,
Hogan,
Hulk Hogan
minus the hair.
minus the hair. But I mean, even then though, he was able to rock it to make it look cool, and that was just because we literally went out of our ways to be like everything that Hulk Hogan did was cool.
Is true.
And the
I
problem
got
is,
it.
see now those are people who done extraordinary things with themselves, made themselves like big, really, really big
And
steroid use.
and we didn't name one normal person that's not famous.
Nope, because you can't.
Hmm. Wow. Cool.
Yeah, name one person that's not in shape. That's just an average person who's just seemingly enough somebody that you would want to follow as a role model.
I was gonna say myself, but no. I don't want to follow me.
Yeah, yeah. So then we look at women. If you look at women, of course, men, we have a type that we were genetically, probably from the evolutionary chain, seen to like. Like, this is the shape of women that we want, and this is the size because of the proportions and stuff are perfect for mating for childbirth and stuff.
But that would be proving that we are from here because they're like animals in that
Well, the
perspective.
evolutionary part of it, that's what that is. But here comes the
Oh,
problem. Now we move on to the influencers and stuff. The influencers destroy thought of our thought of what a female is supposed to look like.
I don't know any. I can't comment on any.
No, you
Who would
can't, but
influence?
no, you can't. But I mean, if I asked you, where should I look to find out what type of women I'm supposed to like?
Yeah, go on to TikTok, I guess.
Yep. You would go on, you would see women on there who are influencers and, perfect physique, perfect bodies. Because again, name another species on like the planet that literally is able to religiously send itself to the gym every single day to work out.
No, they just work out in everyday routines.
Yeah, that's what they do.
They have to go get food, they're working out. They have to breathe, they're working out. They need a drink, they're working out.
Yep. And guess what? If you see all of them, none of them are jacked. There is no jacked muscles or them going out of their way to look jacked. It's only us. And that's the
Hold on.
influencer.
There might be a few kangaroos and baboons out there, silverbacks.
Well, yeah, but I mean, again, trying to compare, then there's us trying to think that we would even be able to match up to a gorilla. That's just
Yeah, we
silly.
can't match up to any type of animal.
No, a gorilla lifts 10 times the strength of a man.
Freaking raccoon would shred me in half.
Yeah. Well, that's like the other thing. Us humans, we have grip strength and stuff. And again, all that is probably just the evolutionary build of us still having it. But we're no match to the wilderness.
Yeah, it drops any human on this earth off in Saskatchewan, Canada, and he'll die.
Yep. Yep. You go, yeah, because if you put a raccoon into the middle of a forest, it will live.
Yeah,
If there was no actual like things to try to kill it, and it was out there and there was nothing really around it to get it or anything, yeah, that raccoon will find food, will find water because animals just know how to find this stuff. And then you drop a human out there, and unless if you give them like a compass and some other stuff and point them in like the right direction and stuff like that. I mean, yes, us humans, we have learned ways to map out the world to be able to track this stuff, but sure, but that takes like years of experience to master all that. Where animals are born and they know how to do all that stuff.
true. Yeah, humans, yeah, their joints were down from like gravity, and we got allergies, and
Well, yeah, I mean, I get that some animals have allergies, but they're not like ours. And then us, instead of us just trying to tough it out to evolve to be better, we create drugs to suppress them.
get it. I get it. Yeah, it's kind of like biohacking.
I mean, it really is. I mean, again, like even back into the times of the Native Americans, they were creating drugs and doing all this. As much as everyone wants to say they're from the land, they live off the land. No, they may live off the land, but that's only because they're forced. But if they didn't have to, they wouldn't,
That is true.
because they have invented stuff like spears, bow and arrows, medicine, instruments, fires, teepees, cul-de-sacs, tribes.
Sacks. Where did that one come from?
I don't know. I have no idea where the cul-de-sacs come from, but
I hate you, cul-de-sac people. All right.
I mean,
So
even
humans are
if
not from Earth.
no, no, I mean, we may have been bred with creatures to see if we could evolve into something better than whatever bred us. Maybe that's the experiment is, after like, 500 years or 5,000 years or 500,000 years, maybe then they'll be like, okay, hey, we created you guys. We just wanted to give you guys time to evolve so we could see what you are.
Yeah, and I don't really want to get into religion, but even in the Bible, there's like mentions of aliens and angels coming down mating with humans and
Yeah, the Nephilis.
yeah, all this type of stuff.
Yeah, well,
So it's
see,
even mentioned in there.
and I mean that's like the other part of with
Whoa, whoa,
we're
whoa. I didn't,
no, no,
sorry, I didn't want to make a
n-
little reference to ancient aliens here, but
yeah, yeah,
it
but
kind of went towards that.
no, but I mean but even that, I mean if you look at humans, we're the only species on the planet Earth that actually wrote down a religion.
You're telling me squirrels don't worship a god?
They probably do, but they don't write it down.
They can't write. They have no thumbs.
No, they don't have thumbs. They never evolved for such things because they never had to. Because if you think about it, the planet Earth, yeah, there's really no need for half the shit that we have on here.
That is true.
I mean,
We're the only
it,
thing that could get a house and want a bigger house.
we're the only people that went in, destroyed the planet just to make that happen.
Wow.
Because if you think about it, dinosaurs, look how long dinosaurs lived onto this planet for. So whenever people say that you have to evolve to now to survive, that is a crock of crap if I ever saw one.
Oh yeah.
Because dinosaurs, they went extinct not because evolution or the planet took them out because they didn't evolve right. They got taken out by a sheer like stroke of luck that a meteorite big enough came by and smashed into the earth.
From aliens to
Well,
make the
of
earth
course,
perfect for a human.
because it's the
That's a,
weirdest thing that when you think about it, it's like, huh? So a meteor struck the earth big enough to cause absolute devastation to dinosaurs, but it never happened again since.
interesting.
Meteor was big enough just to impact the earth, but not destroy it.
And then humans took over.
Well, because I mean, if you think about it, think about how big a meteorite has to be to hit the earth to essentially enough eradicate an entire like species of multiple species, like an entire like
Everything.
just like the entire concept behind an entire like whole group of creatures, just annihilate it.
I don't know how big was it? Like Long Island size? I forget.
Something like that. But I mean, this thing was big enough that it literally encompassed the entire earth. Now, that's not factoring in though. I don't know if Pangea was a thing. So then again,
Aliens.
yeah, yeah, the continent's moving and doing all this other stuff. And yeah, yeah, it's interesting. But
Oh,
us humans, of course, instead of us just letting the world naturally do its thing, no, we have to study it. We have to learn everything about it. We cannot let the earth just be itself.
not itself.
Instead, what do? Well, we got to shape it and make it into ours.
That is true.
We do. We do. I mean, if you look at it, look at New York City, look at California,
Just look at them.
just concrete cities, concrete jungles, an entire, like, they literally built a city to be like a jungle out of concrete.
Taking all the essence of Earth away.
Yep. Look at us scraping away large functions of the earth to grow crops.
When we could just pick them.
We could just be those people where you just travel within your area, you pick your crops and stuff like that. Nope. We have to go make supermarkets. We have to go create an entire industries based around this stuff, jobs, everything, have a whole networking system and stuff.
Yeah, we got that brain. Where did that come from?
Yeah, yeah, a brain that's powerful enough to be able to create electricity. And then you got those humans that come through that kind of invent things that essentially enough, it's like, well, how did these people come out of their way to think of these ideas, but nobody else has?
Yeah, of all the humans that were on the planet, like 133 billion, including the dead people, all of a sudden, in the last like 20 years, we just decided to start thinking about this.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, Thomas Edison invented electricity. Okay. But then here comes Nikolai Tesla out of nowhere. Hey, AC power is great. No one told him to make it. No one even showed him the concept of an idea. He just came out of nowhere with it.
Hmm.
And then you have Steve Jobs out of the blue, out of the blue, when cell phones were starting to become a thing, and the greatest thing to come out was the BlackBerry. It's like, oh wow, hey, look it, you got this phone that kicks over. You could text. Wow, we've essentially we have evolved pretty well here. Yeah, all right, yeah. Steve Jobs comes out, revolutionaries the entire of an industry to touch screen with an iPhone, and it's like, wait, so you're telling me that some guy just sat there and was like, "Hey, here's an idea."
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's just, oh, that's what he did, huh? Just made that. That's what he did.
got it. Hmm.
Yeah. And then every like 12 years, a new technological boom happens. This one now, AI. Now we're building a bunch of data centers because,
To 12 years.
yep,
We reset every 12 years.
every
That's
12
another
years.
whole theory too. You gotta look that one up. That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like the human body. Every 7 years, it changes.
Does regenerate. Every cell has been regenerated. You're
Yep.
not the same person you were 7 years ago.
Nope. Not even close.
But how's that energy transfer from your brain if it's not the same brain?
Right? They claim that your brain stops growing at 21 for men, and I think it's like 18 or 20 for women. And
You start losing the brain cells at 30, they start to decline after that.
well, it's just like that too. I mean, if you look at it, only there's
Yeah,
only
why?
I think that there's only like a handful of creatures that actually live to be like over the age of like 30.
Yeah, why do we power up and then power down?
Well, see, that's like the other weird thing that people said probably why that aliens never came to visit us is the sheer fact that they probably think that we're weird. When you think about it, you go to the planet Earth and you just see you just see everybody at this part of like at this part of the planet is dead. You're like, oh, that's weird. Why are they dead? And then you look at this side, they're awake. Then afterwards, it gets dark and that side dies
Yeah, why
because
do we sleep?
yeah, no, that's like the biggest mystery is our body needs it and nobody knows why. And if you think about it, I doubt that but aliens sleep. And if you think about like the grays and stuff, if we do evolve into them, really the big question is how would we get past that?
I don't know.
You know, like, so would AI take over and would it have like a subconscious of our kind of development where it would kind of be able to autopilot us through for the time being till we wake up?
I don't know. Or is the AI taking over when we sleep
I don't know.
and,
I mean,
putting our next day's routine into our brain to pattern the next week?
again, I wouldn't be surprised. It's almost like an auto pilot where it's
It's
just maintain this for now, and then once I wake up, I'll take care. I'll just make sure that everything is still working right.
it's like a computer when it gets its download when it's shut down. It
Yeah,
just downloads the update.
that's it. You could just click the automatic mode. It's even like with phones where they could transfer themselves over.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So possibly enough, maybe in the future for us humans, that'll be the idea to keep everything rolling because we already have the
Mhm.
automated phone calls. So
Yeah.
us humans, as you could see, name one thing now at this point that us humans do that one animal does.
Eat.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I mean, just like the closest type of the closest type of animal to us. That's like closest thing that could relate to us.
Everybody says the monkey
Yeah, I know they say the monkey, but I mean again,
or the baboon, whatever.
yeah,
Same family, primate.
but I mean like that all stops at the basic level. Like when you think
Me,
about it.
I always say coyote.
Do you?
Yeah. We like to run in packs, but we eventually break off and then go back to the pack. We keep going back to the pack.
Yeah, that's the truth. But I mean if you think about it, all of them all stop at the same part.
What's that?
Well, they all stop at the same part of just normal human stuff, which is of course socializing, eating, drinking, having your home to go to and stuff. And that, just the standard human stuff. But then when you think about it afterwards, we essentially enough, then we evolve past them because they probably build their own little societies within themselves, but they don't build structures. They don't elect leaders like how we do. They elect them by strength and by the one that's the biggest and the strongest. We elect them by them being able to convince us that they're to be that.
Okay. Could I take like a minute pause here? Okay, resume.
Okay, we're resuming. So, yeah, so I mean, if you think about it, after you get past the basic parts of animals and humans, with a basic part of companionship, basic part of living together, living in packs, living within a community. Well, then you look at how are their pack leaders selected? Well, their pack leaders are not selected because this one was just the best one at talking or something. No, selected by strength and dominance.
Yeah, it is.
Where us, we elect up people who couldn't win into a fight, who would have no sort of bearing chance to stand into a fight, who probably are not even the smartest ones in like the room. That you would say, oh, we need to elect people based on this. No, they're elected based on one thing. We have voted them in. All the all the people went out of their way and voted for this person. Said that this person they
That's true.
trust them.
They're all old.
Well, they are, but
Well,
but even if they aren't old, they're all weak and frail compared to the men that we have in like the world.
yeah, think about that.
Well,
Drop
you
them all off in the middle of the forest, not even far from a city, say like 10 miles. They're gonna die.
you think about it, the person that jogs every day. Well, they're going to be fine. They're just jog back to like the city.
Yeah. Wow.
You have a person who's a bodybuilder or something. Yeah, he could probably beat down, a coyote. Probably beat down, you know, the little animals and stuff like that, and pretty much be hardy enough to be able to go and kind of make stuff work and this and that. But
Well,
you go throw a person like a politician into there that doesn't have any of that, where he's just a politician. That's his entire life, where he's never actually done anything else. Well, he's not going to live. The only thing that he's able to do is live into a society. He can't survive outside.
yeah, they just mastered being human.
That's it.
Wow.
Like, I mean,
Cool.
if we look at you, Kyle, we threw you in like the wilderness. We all that we really have to give you is a knife and just some clothing so that you don't freeze to death. And I mean, like essentially, now, if you had like, I mean, if you had like a decent packed out backpack and a hunting knife, you could probably live for days. You because you know how.
Yeah, I would last probably a week or 2
Yes, you
or
would
3
be able
weeks.
to manage, and I'll make it work. But then if you threw me out there with all that stuff, yeah, I'm not gonna do so well.
Yeah, you need to see a poison plant right off the beginning.
Yeah, but now I mean, if you think about it though, a coyote's born. Well, now we move on to that. A coyote's born. Well, as they grow up, they don't learn like they learn a little bit from the pack, but a lot of the stuff they already know.
Yeah, they just live for however many years, 12 years, and then that's it.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, you take a cat and you bring it into your house, or a dog, you bring it into your house, and you don't let it up and interact with any other animals, so it
Whoa,
doesn't.
whoa, whoa. So if a woman had a baby out in the woods, it's just gonna die.
Well, yeah, because now, I mean, because if you think about it, so you bring in like a dog in your house or a cat in your house, and there's no other animals. Well, that cat and dog is going to learn how to clean itself, learn how to scratch itself, learn how to pretty much live and stuff like that. Learn how to survive and stuff like that. Learn how to communicate with you to be able to get you to feed it and take it out and stuff like that. Where you
That's
where you go, and let's say now you think about it, if a dog, a cat, uh giraffe, cheetah, any sort of a creature gives birth, it's only probably a matter of hours till it's up and walking.
yeah, don't take long.
No, where us humans, it takes about 2, 3, 4 years till you actually start walking, till you can actually start taking care of yourself.
Yeah, we're not from here.
No, no, because even when we're born, if we do not have a person to nurture us and take care of us, we're dead. Where you go throw like a baby wolf out in like the wilderness and there's nothing and there's nobody around it. Well, that wolf will be able to walk, will be able to smell, will be able to hear, and we'll know how and we'll learn which type of things are predators and preys. But essentially enough, they already kind of know.
Yeah, they do.
Where us humans, if you threw a kid out there who could walk, they go out there. Well, they're gonna want to go. Oh, maybe this wolf's nice, and then it gets attacked by
Ooh,
the wolf.
gaga, let me let me pet this bear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like no sort of we are not like we don't inherently build instincts like how all other animals do.
I see. Well, Matt, you made some very valid points today.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm just trying here, just I'll bring up the part of it's just hard to believe that we are humans and that we're not just evolving more and more into a gray.
We're moving away from the gray.
No, we're moving more towards it faster and faster.
So we started moving away and then we started moving towards it
Well, we started that after we got into the industrial age.
because we came to Earth, evolved into a Earthling. Now we're going back to a Grayling.
Well, you think about it. When when it came to the part of the age of steam, I mean, name one thing onto this planet that naturally is powered by steam.
That geyser out in Yellowstone. I don't know.
It's not powered. It doesn't do anything. It just shoots it up because it has to. But it doesn't
They're
actually
just
generate
throwing
power.
words.
It doesn't do anything. It's just that's the natural evolution of it. Where us humans, instead of us just leaving the water inside the pond, we we shoved it inside a boiler used resource that we dug up from the ground to then heat this water that's inside of this giant metal casing that we dug up and melt it to go build a steam engine, a gigantic like 30-ton piece of machinery that's running onto tracks, that its job is now to heat up steam to shoot into a piston and then to leave the piston and shoot into the like I mean it's like it is such a technologically weird thing that they thought of with steam, that it's like, who in their right mind would have ever thought that generating that heating up water into steam could generate power?
Yeah, I don't know. That's not right.
No, I mean, if you think about it, then we move away from the age of steam to get into diesel. And it's like, okay, so now we evolved into diesel, and it's like, yeah, but now the reason why that we moved to diesel was because now we could manufacture parts. So essentially enough, we got away from the craftsmanship and the unique designs to now making it more standardized, uniformed, have you?
I see. So, moral of the story. What is it?
Moral of the story is there is nothing that you could compare humans and animals to where it could be anywhere where you could check the boxes and say this is the closest one to this, and this explains how we are like these animals, because all the check marks go all the way up until the end of human interactions with things after
And we
you.
all poop.
Well, yes. So us as humans, our bodies work the same as theirs into a degree. We mammals, all mammals strive to have a pack and a bonding. All like to live into a community for themselves. All like to be around their own kind and stuff. And that's pretty much where it ends, because after that, we use tools to do stuff. We build homes, we build communities, we build rules, societies.
Yeah, we're
And then,
structured.
yeah, and then if you look at like animals to structure a hierarchy, you could go all the way across from wolf packs or coyote packs from all the way over onto the other side of the world to all the way to where we are, and they're all the same.
True.
But then you look at humans, and there's nothing really the same. The only thing that's really the same is we all do the same thing, but we all do it in a different way.
True.
It is it it's one of those things where it's I mean, unless if you could really go out of your way and point out to us everything to say, yeah, look, monkeys are like the same way, but they're not. The only thing that they have the same with us is the fact that we share 99.9% of DNA.
True.
But that's what they tell us, at least. All right. Well, that's the end of that. All right. Well,
That's
I
all I
hope,
gotta say.
yep, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of The Reigns.
I did.
We will do another episode again,
Next week.
but for now, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And please let us know down below into the comments your thoughts. We'd love to hear them. All right. But anyway, this is the end. I'm Matt.
Kyle.
This was The Reigns. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
What rains it pours.